Well, hello folks. We are having some troubles with the YouTube channel and actually with my camera. I took the camera camping with me and left the computer home because I had enough junk already. And I left the card for the camera in the computer from downloading videos. So the SD card that the camera uses to record video on was not with the camera, which isn't a big problem because I have a lot of other video cards, but I put one in that was a slow card. Some of the old cards are too slow to do video at 4K or 1080p. So the camera kept shutting off without telling me. I didn't figure it out until I had shot half the video and had no actual recorded video. So I'm now going to kind of wing it and try to give you a fairly decent video of our camping at Trout Pond's campsite. So stay tuned. This is a pretty interesting campground. I didn't think it was anything special before I got there, and I found out this is a pretty cool campground. So stay tuned and I'll... Well, Trout Pond is a Forest Service campground in the very eastern handle of West Virginia. And it's about 2 hours from Washington, D.C., about 3.5 hours from Altoona, Pennsylvania. And it's we got to go through Maryland, where I got a speeding ticket with a camera. So it's a pain in the butt. Stay away from Maryland. But it's in the mountains between West Virginia, and it's a pretty nice place. It's got this great big lake that is man-made called Rock Cliff Lake, and then you can see where the little pointer is. That's the campground, though the top loop is the maintenance loop where you're not allowed to go. The round thing that I'm pointing at, that is actually Trout Pond. That is the pond that used to be Trout Pond, and it's a big sinkhole. And there's 2 other sinkholes right next to it. So it's a pretty neat area because they've got this great big sinkhole, and they talk about sinkholes. The main lake has a big swim area. It's pretty nice. But we stayed in the main campground, and there's just one big loop with a road that goes through the middle of it. And this is a maintenance loop, I think, because there wasn't any place you could go. The sinkhole of the Trout Pond campground, which is the Trout Pond actually, is a pretty big feature at the park. This is the actual sinkhole, and I guess normally on a rainy year it's full of water. But there are a number of kiosks, and the whole thing's fenced off, so you can't get into it, but it's pretty cool. We arrived early, of course, like we usually do, and so we figured we'd park at the bathroom and fill up the tanks with water. This hose is one of the easy ways to do it. And so we give you a bathroom tour while we're here. It's a nice little shower, a nice little bathroom. 1 stall, 1 shower. Needs a paint job. It's crummy shower heads. It's tiny little shower heads. It's a push button shower. I don't know which one does which. It does have a soap dish and bars. It's handicap accessible. It's got a bench. It's got some hooks to hang things on. Not too bad. We tried to do the campground review about 3 times, but it kept starting to rain on us as we were walking around. But all the sites are pretty much the same. They're framed gravel, pretty level. Some of them are bigger than others, but they're all pretty nice. We had one that was a little short for our trailer, and this one has a tree in the middle of it. This is site 35, and it is a pull-through site, which I'm standing in because it's right next to the bathroom, and I can use the bathroom and fill with water. So this is 35. This is a pretty nice site, except that it's right along the road. But of course, if you got a camper that's open to this side, it's pretty nice, except of course you got the traffic from the bathroom. But it's not bad. It is not level. It looks like it's been washed out a couple of times. There's some rain ruts going through it, and it's definitely tilted downhill along with the road. We're on the side of a hill, not a steep hill, but okay, we're at the information booth, and this is the campground map. And the information booth right out in front includes a phone because there's no cell service here. And the map of the Trout Pond Recreation Area. Quite a big place, really. We are way here in the campground loops. And there's this trail that leads to the ponds of Trout Pond Campground. Has all these nice kiosks about the trees that are along the trail, and it's really pretty neat. There's also Trout Pond is a sinkhole that's just filled with water, so it's a pretty neat place. It has things to look at, and this is the picnic area that we're walking through right now. And it has all the nice facilities that you need in a picnic area. Seems to have an extremely big parking area, but talking to the host, the pool, or is a lake that really does drag in a lot of people. These are very nice, these kiosks with all the identifying trees and everything, but this one's in front of the bathroom, and I don't see a dogwood anywhere nearby. And I think they're in concrete, so I think they probably had a dogwood here at one time and it died, and now they can't move it. But they ought to do something to fix these, because there's none of these trees anywhere around here are dogwoods. So Trout Pond is actually the sinkhole. It's the lake we're about to see is Ratcliffe Lake, and this is when it was built. They made it, and that's Trout Pond way back when it was full of water. But it's not a lake at the moment because there hasn't been enough rain. This is Ratcliffe Lake, and that's the public beach, and there are people in the water. And of course, he is in the water. This is a beautiful man-made lake and man-made beach. They must have $1 billion worth of sand for the beach, so it's not all muddy, although it is stocked with tons and tons of trout, I'm told. And they do have fishing piers and places to enjoy it. His job here is just to empty it of water by drinking it all. What are you doing? What do you say to your fans? Huh? You're gonna stick your tongue out at your fans? As we walk the trail around the lake, here's some pretty neat looking little cliffs. There's the dam. There are the cliffs. They're pretty neat. You know, I like the rock and the trees and the pines and all that. It's a pretty nice lake. It's a kidney bean shaped lake. You can't see, like we're at one end and you can't see the swim beach from this end. Got some very interesting blue seaweed. I wonder what that is. It looks to be like regular seaweed. I don't see any alligators or manatees. This must have been a very nice valley when they put this dike in here. There's the downside of the dam. The far side of the dam are these rocks that are similar to Seneca rocks that we've done videos on and climbed a couple times. They're just straight up outcrops of rocks that just somehow got pushed up and out. Pretty amazing. They're covered in liverworts. I wonder who would ever thought to do that. Climb on the rocks and maybe jump off the rocks into the water. How could anybody even think of doing that? Thank goodness they put signs out there so we know what would be really fun in here. Look at this rock. This is just like, it looks like it should be able to talk. Cool big limestone pieces of rock. And then there's always the idiots who have to degrade them, although it is kind of funny. Yep. Yep. This side of the lake, we're on the trail on the other side of the lake, is just underneath all these beautiful boulders. And I'll tell you, if you were into bouldering, which is, you know, climbing the rocks just freehand, this would be the place. As long as you didn't run into like a rattlesnake or anything, which I don't think they'd bother you if you just kept going, but there's some impressive rocks here. And of course, with the sinkhole and the limestone and the water washing and everything, you wonder how stable all that rock is. But he's got a stick. So he's made it the size he wants it. He's broken it. These trails, you know, despite the fact that this is in a pretty mountainous area and there's all sorts of crazy geological formation, these trails are really nice and easy and very pleasant. Fairly flat. There's some rocky spots that I've tripped over a couple times. But that's just because I'm a klutz and I'm looking up in the trees for owls and hawks and birds and everything else. But it's a very nice park. I'm really surprised. I didn't know that this was going to be quite so nice. Here's another sinkhole. And this one does not have water in it. And then there's another one over there, or a partial sinkhole. And there's it's like a bridge between them. They haven't cordoned these off yet, but it's pretty interesting to have all these sinkholes in the West Virginia area. It probably doesn't show very well in the camera. The sun's too bright and it doesn't film, but you can see right before me the land is giving way into this hole. See over there, it's kind of giving way. It's a big hole, and that's the depth of the hole right there. And it's interesting. There's trees growing out of it. It's a great big tree in the bottom, almost the very bottom. Well, folks, we are packing up to leave Trout Ponds campground in West Virginia. This was a pretty nice place. It's got all sorts of wondrous things around, all sorts of neat nature stuff, and you don't have to go very far to see them. So nice hiking trails. They're on the edge of a huge horse trail thing, I think, but it's pretty good. They do have a problem at the campground here with their water. It's got this awful orange rust color, and they say that they're going to replace all the pipes this winter next year. So it should be better next year. This is 2023 in October, and it's cold. So we're headed home, back to warmth. So I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, give me a thumbs up. Give me a comment so I know who you are and what you're doing. Subscribe if you haven't. I don't know why you haven't. We hope to see you on the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.